Now we got it. And it sounds good to me. So, although that's a little bit behind, it sounds good to me. Hopefully, the sound has improved. Technical issues as we've been dealing with them here in Louisville or in Florida. Hopefully everything is good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Darren Bailey. Darren Bailey is the state senator here in That was a mistake. State representative here in the 109th district in Illinois. Darren, how you doing?
I am doing awesome. I'm loving this fall weather.
Hey, before we get going, let me ask Jose. Have you heard back from the people that sound better?
I'm asked.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. You are doing awesome.
I am.
Before we get going on anything, I know you've got something coming up next week. Tell me what's going on with you next week. You have a big old
our third annual backyard fall event, in the backyard of a house. We invite people to come and going to have some wonderful entertainment and information, and especially the food part. That's where it gets really great. So going to have some awesome barbecue, and Sweet Tea and Jesus is going to be there with teas, and Liberty Pony Pies are going to be there with their pies there from Oblong.
Right.
And I just encourage people to come out, a good time to talk and gather and solicit ideas.
What is the best way for folks to run into you, to catch you, to get a chance to speak to you?
Well, so actually on our webpage, Bailey4Illinois.com, I've got they can request if there's an event for me where they would like for me to attend. They can sign up for that. They can send an email, Darren@Bailey4Illinois.com. They can call our offices and talk to me, and I can meet up with them there. So I've got another number, my campaign number. Very important, you have to keep campaign and the political side separate. Yeah, sometimes if someone walks into our campaign or my political office and said, I want to sign, basically you're told it's kind of awkward. I can't help you with that. This is a state office. So I have my state office is at 152 South Church. And then 2 doors down at 156 South Church is my campaign office. At this time of year, it's staffed every day. So a phone number that I have is 618-919-1617. That's either emailing me or calling that number would be a good way if it's campaign related instead of state related.
Well, and one of the other things, the interesting thing to me about that is you have your campaign headquarters and your offices, and like right in between them is the Democratic headquarters for Clay County or something. Right?
On the end, yeah, that's awesome.
So if you're walking down the street in Louisville, you can find whatever you want.
That's exactly right. That you can.
That's Darren Bailey. I'm going to take another quick break just to make sure that all the sound and everything is good. And you are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey with Darren Bailey is there. We'll be back right after this word. Do please stick around.
I'm a bunch of wind. And just like your stomach after that strip mall sushi, I'm a bit unpredictable. Let's redecorate. What's the matter, Tanya? I thought you loved being spontaneous. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, I might break the bank too. So get Allstate.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. In Salem, call Brandy Drinkpool.
Get ahead of the game at Carter Athletic Academy, where the goal is to transform you into the best young athlete you can be. Train for top performance in football, volleyball, soccer, baseball, and softball. Professional private lessons and clinics are always available with Carter Athletic Academy's expert training staff. Carter's exclusive Hit Track system brings skill development as well as exciting gameplay to batting cages. Plus, the Academy is the perfect spot for your special event or celebration. The Carter Athletic Academy in Fairfield. Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization, would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching. Scheid Diesel Service Company is your anything diesel full service center and fuel injection shop. Scheid Diesel offers the quickest turnaround times to get you back on the road. Scheid Diesel can service any diesel engine from agricultural, construction, heavy-duty truck, and automotive. Let Scheid rebuild your pump, injectors, or turbos. Need custom fuel lines? Scheid has you covered. With a drive-in service, they offer a variety of services, including oil changes, engine rebuilds, DOT inspections, and DPF cleanings. For unmatched quality, think Scheid Diesel Service Company. Anything diesel.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Now we're on microphone. Okay. Welcome back, folks. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Darren Bailey is here. He is the state representative in the 109th district and running for the 55th district office. Tell me a little bit. We'll get to the coronavirus stuff here in a minute. Tell to your work. Tell me how this affects your campaign, because this is your second campaign. Your campaign against Mr. Rice was 2 years ago.
Yes.
How different is this campaign for state senate compared to the campaign for state representative?
It's really not. As a matter of fact, it's a lot easier because my work ethic's been proven. We're out and about, and there's a lot more energy because people, know me. They know what we stand for. They know who we are, and there's a lot of energy. People are wanting to get on board. So it's there's a lot of work in the beginning, and getting out there and fighting against an incumbent. And you had two messages you were working with, but just the territory. As I'm getting to meet new people in the 110th representative district. And
how much bigger is the district now than it was?
Well, we added 5 counties.
Okay.
So lengthwise, it goes up to the northern edge of Coles County.
So you have Charleston and Mattoon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. So we've got EIU there, and still goes over Crawford, and have the southwest corner of Edgar County, and then Crawford, Cumberland.
You must love. I mean, a part of a job of a politician is meeting people, because half the gig is finding out what your constituents want, right?
Yes.
You must love getting to meet new folks up there. Don't you?
I do. I did not prior to this, and that was one of the things. Just let me in and let me kind of like a bull in a china shop. Let me do my work.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. It's kind of how I operated on the farm, and God did an amazing thing. I love meeting. As a matter of fact, I encourage people, if we're out and about somewhere and you see me, please come and introduce yourself and let's talk. So because that's the only way we find out the needs, the concerns, the desires, and the ideas.
And the thing is, and I find this, you'll occasionally run into people who are really dogmatic, don't want to listen to what other people have to think, what the people that they don't agree with have to think. But as I've talked to you, as I've seen you in action, you love to talk to folks who agree with you as well as don't agree with you, don't you?
I am always available to listen. I'm very dogmatic with my opinion and my thoughts and my desires. I'll never waver morally, but I will always listen. And when you listen to a conversation and someone gets heard, something changes with them, and then I get ideas that kind of get planted that I can consider later.
Yeah. Well, that's half the battle. Okay. Coronavirus hit in mid-March, and we'll get into lawsuits and stuff here in a little bit. That's probably a boring part of it. It's an entertainment show, so we'll talk about the fun parts of the lawsuits in a little while. When coronavirus hit, as I understand it, the legislature got sent out. Y'all got sent home, right?
Yes.
To clean up, to make sure that everything was clean, so it was safe. And then y'all came back for the for special session. Was it veto session?
No, it was special session. It was special because it was not held in the Capitol.
It was held at the
rented
hotel
out
or
the
whatever.
Bank of Springfield Center.
Oh, okay. So the special session, and everyone was required to wear masks, and you chose not to. Why did you choose not to?
Well, so everyone, it was recommended to wear masks.
I guess not required then.
It was not required until they changed the rules. That was the first item of business.
Oh, I see.
My first day on the House floor, the very first thing that you do is adopt the rules. You know, I thought Robert's Rules of Orders was the game up
they
there.
change
They
every
have
time,
their
don't
own
they?
rule book.
Yeah.
It's 90 pages, and at the end of every segment, it says the party in control makes the rules. I was one of 5 other members that stood up and requested some very common sense, legitimate rule changes. Those were immediately ignored, and went on to pass the rules. One of the first item of business of special session was to stand up and to change the rules that any time under a pandemic situation you wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
At the very time that they were issuing this motion to adopt these, half of the legislators, both sides of the aisle, were sitting around with their masks off. We were 10 feet apart from everyone. I had so I stood up when the rule was the motion was made. I voted against it, as did it pretty well went party line.
Yeah.
Then there was a motion made specifically to remove me because I did not have my mask on, while 40 other members on both sides of the aisle at the exact same time sat with their masks off, and some of that time including Speaker Mike Madigan.
That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. Why were you singled out?
I think I was singled out because I was most vocal about it. You know, that's what Illinois needs. We need people to stand up for something and stand against the status quo, because the status quo's got us where we're at, and that's what I did. I said at the time, I thought masks. You wear the mask to protect yourself if you're concerned. To sit here and mandate this on everybody, the proof is still not there. I know that's terribly controversial, but it's not. And the suggestion was stay 6 feet apart. The desks were 10 feet apart. And when I stood up to speak after they made that motion, I told them, I said, I will stay here in my seat. And as a matter of fact, I will put the mask on if I get up to get food, to go to the restroom. I'll do that. But they weren't satisfied with that.
Because you did put on the mask whenever you came back.
I came back, yeah. We thought at the time, the lawsuit was going to be, the initial lawsuit was to be held the next day, and that got canceled. So yeah, I did I was there for the next 4 days with the mask on because the rules had changed, and I've got over 200 pictures that people would send because they were watching session on the state website. All through this, at any given time, there were at least a dozen legislators each side of the aisle with their masks off. And as a matter of fact, there was a picture that was kind of famous of me being escorted off the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm turned around and kind of cracking a smile because as I was being escorted off the floor, the gentleman who made the motion to remove me made a statement. He said, now I'm looking around the room here and I see several other people with the masks off. And they said, if you don't want to be next, you better get yours on. And I'm going to tell you, it looked like a second grade class. That everybody was struggling so fast to get their masks on because they were afraid they were going to be called out. So I see this as a political nonsense as to what the issue was. And so I stood up against it and I said, no.
Well, speaking of the political nonsense, this made national news.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and you really didn't intend. You didn't go in there intending to make a stink like this.
The lawsuit, the mask, you get. So what the other side does, you always the part of political strategy is to turn the argument or turn the instance around on someone. So many people were saying, well, he's politically grandstanding. He's showboating.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
When people, as they began to know me and get to understand me, they understand that no, I simply stand up for what I believe in, and I'm not going to budge. I don't care what the outcome is. If it's right for the people, if it's a constitutional freedom that we face giving up, I'm not going to adhere to it.
I'm surprised they singled you out because they know you. don't they? I mean,
they know
these
me,
are people that you deal with.
So the interesting thing is, and here's what a lot of people don't understand: I get along great with the other side. They respect me up there because we have wonderful. I just met in Lawrence County with one of the representatives up there that typically we go head to head, and we're actually talking about working on some things in the future. But this is the biggest reason why Mike Madigan has got to be removed, because this well-oiled machine that you hear about, when they show up on that House floor, they adhere to whatever it is that he tells them to. So he's a political genius. He had calculated the move of trying to shut me down, thinking that he would intimidate me and that I would kowtow to their stuff, and I didn't.
I don't think he knows you.
No, he doesn't.
That's Darren Bailey. I'm Bruce Dickey. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I'm going to ask him how many times he got sapped in the head when he was trying to leave the floor. It didn't really happen. We'll be back right after this. Stick around. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local Hankook tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Welcome to State Building Center. My dad and Ryan work here. They sell lumber, paint, doors, windows, plumbing, electrical, and much more. Oh yeah, they sell guns too. Zing Building Center on Route 45 and Louisville. It's a cool place.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Darren Bailey here is here, and he is running for the 55th State Senate seat from the 109th. He's the state representative from the 109th district. Okay, Darren, you're on the floor. This fascinates me because I always just wonder, what happens to when if you're getting kicked out of somewhere. I've been kicked out of one place twice for life. Oh, yeah. Usually you only get kicked out once for life, but I went back and I got kicked out again just because I was being me, and you were being you, right? I mean, that's okay. Yeah. So you get kicked out. How exactly does that work? Because I've never seen anybody other than like people who didn't belong on a legislative floor. I mean, they'll run somebody out who's in there not supposed to be. Do they come? Do the state police show up, or how's that work?
So this is awesome. So no, typically they're in the history of of a Springfield government, there have been people removed. Because years ago, everyone was on the floor.
Yeah.
That just changed recently, and there have been people that the Illinois Secretary of State Police are, in control of anything to do with
in control of the Capitol building.
Yes. So they were there. There's a sergeant at arms who maintains order. If he is unable to maintain order, then Secretary of State Police will come in. There's also state police officers, but mainly Secretary of State. So I'm telling you, I've got complete respect up there of the people. We kind of had an idea this was going to happen, and matter of fact, Sergeant at Arms come up to me before, and he how's this going to go? And I said, hey, it's good. We're good. I want to respect the process.
Remove your belt and shoelaces.
No, so he just came, and I was escorted. Two of my friends, walked out with me. And the cool thing is, I wish there were cameras out there, because when I went through those doors, police officers, staff, everybody was high-fiving me, because that's what I'm representing. The people are sick and tired of this nonsense, and so the next it was awesome.
What came first? You were, by the time you got kicked off the representative of the legislative floor, you had already filed your lawsuits, hadn't you? Did that come first, or because the 60 days passed?
Yes, I had filed the lawsuit. We had not had the case yet. We'd had the hearing, and then the judge. That's why we did that motion.
Motion to keep it in Clay County.
Well, no, the motion. What's
to appear?
Doggone it? Nope. The TRO, the temporary restraining order for me, because that gave a sneak preview of what the judge was thinking when I was kind of the only one in Illinois that was exempt from the rules. So that had taken place.
Which, by the way, was pretty fascinating to me, that you could walk around without a mask wherever you wanted. You were the only one.
Yeah, I could go play on playground equipment if I wanted to.
Play
whatever
golf,
I wanted to
for
do.
crying out loud. Yeah.
So that had happened, but the court case, the court case didn't happen until July 2nd.
Yeah,
so.
And that's been moved back to Springfield, right?
Yes.
Where is that right now? Is it just kind of, has it been folded in to several others? Not to get, I don't want to get really technical and deep
just
into
real quick cliff notes. The Illinois Supreme Court folded my case in with 44 others. They are to be heard in about a month from now in Sangamon County Court. We are appealing to have a new judge assigned, because this judge has already ruled on one of these issues, the masks. Some of the schools sued the governor for wearing masks. It was a very quick decision, and so that gave us the right and the justification to ask for a new judge. That has been denied so far. So we are looking at constitutional action against the Illinois Supreme Court, and doing exactly what the governor did early, petitioning the U.S. Supreme Court now to move this to federal, because our constitutional rights have been violated.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to get them to understand that, to assign us a new judge, but if they don't, there's going to be some action coming.
Is it freedom of speech, or which constitutional right? We were talking about the Bill of Rights. This is Constitution Day. Which one is it that he is violating? I mean, other than
that the governor
oppression.
does not. Well, it's the simple. We got three branches, co-equal branches of government. Right. So we have one person. He went past his authority.
He exceeded his authority.
Past the 30 days, of which we even challenged by what right he had to issue an initial emergency proclamation under this COVID situation. So he does not have the authority, still doesn't have the authority.
And that's the thing. The legislative, I'm surprised that you're not getting more assistance from the Democratic side of the legislature.
Well, they're scared. It's election season. They're scared to death. Mike Madigan holds the purse strings. Nobody's going to argue
but
back.
Mike Madigan's going to hold the purse strings whether or not.
But no one's going to. They don't want to make the process. They don't want to make that side of the aisle, the governor, Madigan, anyone else, look bad. So they're not going to do anything. That's why they're remaining silent.
Well, you would. I hate to press the point.
Constitutional process, even though it's Constitution Day, doesn't matter.
You would think a state legislator would say, this is our job. This is not the governor's job.
But we have a whole. Think of the ethics violations with Speaker Madigan. He's under federal. They don't. That's why we're not going back to Springfield, because that's going to be a topic of concern, and no one wants to have to answer to that.
They're not going to bring you back into session.
They're protecting the system. So when Illinoisans wake up and realize that, we're going to find ourselves in a new day, and I believe that's going to happen within the next 2 years. So it has to.
Well, I hope you. We're going to take another quick break, but before I do, want to say I hope you're able to stay on the floor next time. And I'm just glad they didn't sap you. I mean, that was the scary part to me, Darren. I thought they were going to rough you up a little bit.
No, there was a lot of energy to the contrary, actually. You didn't see it, but there was.
Oh, that's good. That's Darren Bailey. I'm Bruce Dickey. I tell you what, we're probably actually going to talk about an issue or two when we come back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll be back right after this word. Stick around.
Make Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield your fashion leader. We're the little boutique with the big inventory of beautiful, trendy outfits and clothing in a wide array of your favorite name brands. And don't forget our large selection of jewelry and accessories. Carnaby Square is Southern Illinois' largest dealer of Brighton. At Carnaby Square, we take pride in our one-on-one, knowledgeable customer service and look forward to helping you create your own special look. Plus, always free gift wrapping. Find endless gift ideas 24/7 at carnabysquare.com and on our Facebook page. Shop the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield, Carnaby Square.
When it comes to your banking, you have as many options as colors in the crayon box. That's why you can bank your way at Teutopolis State Bank. What works best for you may be different from what works best for your neighbor. Teutopolis State Bank is built to serve all your banking needs, whether it's online banking, mobile check deposit, text banking, or just stopping in to see them at one of their 3 convenient locations. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender, it's Teutopolis State Bank. Banking made personal since 1913.
Napa know-how.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Are you tired of searching high and low in those big chain stores to find what you need and deserve some royal treatment? Come to the King, Rural King in Salem. The friendly folks at Rural King will never leave you searching for those hard to find items on your list. Farm, home, sporting, automotive, and clothing. Oh, and did I mention we also have everything else, along with all the quality brands that you deserve. Salem Rural King is a proud retailer of the steel product line. Your searching is over when you know the King, Rural King in Salem.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who have put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Harrison Insurance in Louisville is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Darren Bailey is here, and we are talking about a wide variety of subjects. Actually, we haven't talked about a whole wide variety of subjects at all, have we, Darren?
No, we've been focused.
All right, I gotta ask. I had Niemerg here last week or two ago. I had John Spencer here a couple of weeks ago. I'll probably get Cynthia Given here in the next few weeks. What's your biggest other than your own election? What do you think is the biggest question in the upcoming election?
Well, actually, there's two. For me, it's getting it's our Illinois Supreme Court Justice down here getting Judge Overstreet elected, and other than that, it's then we
have
the
replacing Carmire, right?
Yes,
Carmire's still on the. He's still on the.
Yeah, he's
on
stepping
the court?
off, and yes,
okay.
So getting him to replace that, and then obviously this constitutional amendment for the progressive tax.
Are you for or against the progressive tax?
So you can go on much of my social media site and find out we are pushing messages out like crazy. When I was on the House floor, I voted adamantly against it. this amendment is going to open things. I mean, these rates that were passed. Okay, I voted against the rates. The rates that were passed were based on the numbers of a budget 2 years earlier, $6 billion ago.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no way, and a lot of people don't. The money across the United States sets in the hands of the middle class. That's where it's at. That's where the people are at. Those are the people who are going to get hammered here in about another year. People's everything's on the table. Everything, pensions, retirements, everything's on the table. Essentially, you pass a budget, you decide what you want, you put all this money in this budget, and then over here, this new progressive tax amendment, it kind of kicks into autopilot and it figures out a way to fund. No floor debate, nothing. Everything goes on.
The progressive, if the progressive tax passes, what you're saying is the legislature does not really have a say in the structure of the tax, the income tax in Illinois.
Right. No vote is needed. It automatically funds it wherever the tax brackets need to wind up at. Thank you. We, the people, fund it.
No, I know we fund it. Who determines the levels?
Well, that's somewhat unknown. The legislative process will figure that out, but there's no. It's just.
So to me. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'll play devil's advocate here for you. I mean, it would make sense if you're wanting a progressive tax, like the income tax, for the federal income tax, you're wanting people who make more to pay more, and that's what the proponents of this are saying. That this will get people to pay more if they make more, and that's all fine and good. But if let me see if I'm paraphrasing you correctly. Or the opponents of the progressive tax correctly. You don't trust them. Is that
we
that
should
about
not
right?
trust them. So the legislators, that's what they will actually look at all the income tax brackets and then establish those rates.
Mm-hmm.
Where much like today, you establish just a flat tax, which is an actual fair tax. Everyone pays the same. If you don't earn as much, you don't have to pay as much. And if you earn more, you pay more.
Right.
With
the state, there's no. I mean, you don't have the deductions like you used to have in the federal.
And those are being threatened as well. Those were talked about last year late in session about taking away many of the deductions. That's coming. It's all coming.
I saw I received the thing that Jesse White sent out the other day and read through it. I saw that. The word tax on retirement accounts came up or something like that. Is that a potential of what they're going after too?
Everything is on the table. Pensions, retirements, everything's on the table. Everything's possible. There's nothing that can't look at and tax. Absolutely nothing.
And this would be some group that is not under legislation. We don't know who'd be making the changes. Right.
Well, it would be the legislature. The legislature would look at that, and they would establish those rates for they have the ability to do that. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I tell you what, it's what do you think? What do you think the prospects of that? I mean, you get the chance. You talk to people all over the state.
Yeah.
What do you think of the tax? You think it's going to go? You think it's not going to go? What's the thought?
Well, it's got to have a 60% vote to pass. A lot of misunderstanding right now because it's called a fair tax. It's called a fair tax for a reason. The governor has dumped in over $50 million to push the information out there and to sell this. So I'm getting people who are
his own money.
Yes,
wow.
and AARP.
I mean, he's got it.
AARP, certain unions are pumping money in, and I don't understand why they are doing this, and it's just an easy way to increase our taxes for the future, and it's very concerning. So yeah, it's going. I believe I'll go on record. Right, it's going to be an absolute disaster. No one is going to pay less, even though the rate is, our tax rate here in Illinois is 4.95.
Right.
And the lowest tax rate is right now is 4.75. Right. That's the money that and if you look at the lower income families, that's about $6.75 when you calculate that out
over the course
on
of the year.
Budget on the taxes that were paid 2 years ago.
Right.
So that can't happen because we're spending, our budget is $6 billion larger right now. At the end of 2016, there were 24,000 people in Illinois who filed a tax return and claimed more than $1 million income. We had the 32% tax increase by the end of 2017. That number dropped to 19,000. The numbers are not available for 2018 yet. The people with money are going to pack up and move. They have the ability to find the loopholes and break their investments down. It's we, the middle class, the workers in Illinois, who are going to be stuck with the bill. It's that simple.
That's the thing. Not just wealthy, but middle class and lower income folks too have already started the exodus, haven't they? How do you stop that? What's the we got like 3 minutes here, Darren. I mean, how do you stop the exodus of the middle class?
You got to give people hope, and that's what I think that I'm doing. Standing up against the establishment, saying no more. Illinois spending habits. Illinois government is you've heard the phrase, an inch deep and a mile wide. We keep coming up with all these things that we need, and we need a lot. There's a lot of needs out there. We can't even do our basics. Unemployment, we can't even do that right. We need to pull in education, unemployment, Medicaid issues for the disabled, for veterans, for the elderly. We can't even do that right. Why are we looking elsewhere to spend money? We have got to spend within our means. We've got to rein this in. We've got to hold our elected officials accountable. And if they refuse to do that, move them out, bring someone else in. It's literally that simple.
You've been a voice, a loud voice in the wilderness on the coronavirus and on this in schools. You have a particularly unique position in that you are a legislator as well as you run a school.
Yeah. And I served 17 years on the North Clay School Board as well.
I gotta ask, and I feel terrible asking this, but people want to know: are we going to get football at some point in Illinois? Well, what's the and basketball is coming up?
They're moving everything back. The movement. School boards have the authority to do what they want to do. It's really that simple. We, the people, are in control. If we want to kowtow to one man in Chicago telling us what we must do, which has already been proven in a court of law unconstitutional, then so be it. That's the determination of whether you walk into a restaurant or a business that requires the mask or they don't. The sports is the same thing. We can stand up against this, but everyone is scared to death of the consequences. The governor may pull funding away from the school. The governor may do this, may do that. Well,